It was started as a play in this little writer's workshop in the valley. I mean, like a 40-seat black box, evening of one acts, and it was no big deal. And someone else had the idea, maybe this would make a short film. And when that clicked in my head, I thought live action short film Oscar, because as a film student, that's always something that you just have it in the back of your head, because those are the kinds of that's an award that's sort of accessible to totally independent, no budget, short film, kind of a thing. So it was the plan for me, but I didn't tell anybody. Of course, I just said, well, let's make this film. And it wasn't my film. It was a story. It was a film to tell the story of Sugihara. It wasn't me trying to do my director's reel or trying to whatever. It was, we want to tell this untold story of a heroic Japanese during World War II. And everybody, of course, got on board with that right away, and that was the mission of the film, and that's what we did, that's what we set out to do. But my own mind as a filmmaker was, I'm going to submit this to the Academy. It's got a Holocaust theme, it's a serious drama. If I can make it look good, it's a great story, it's an untold story.
All the right elements.
So, oh yeah, it didn't change my career. But then again, it's like, can anybody name any person that won the live action short, Oscar? It's not like it's supporting actor or, best actor. So, I mean, that's fine, The point of our project was to tell Sugihara's story, and it helped that tremendously. I feel really lucky to, have been involved with have Kenneth. He actually volunteered on one of my films a few years earlier, and he had to remind me that. Oh, I was a PA, by the way. And then I remembered, but it was funny that, because he came to me and said, well, I'm doing this film at FI, would you be in it? And as an actor, anytime just someone offers you a role, I mean, they don't know it, but, of course I'll do it. What? I don't even have to audition. But he's just really sharp, and he's got a great sort of visual sense, and just he's a really good director, just all around. And I'm not at all surprised he's just out there now doing all these things, and I know he'll continue. And Half Kenneth was, it was surprisingly good. I mean, anytime you go into a project that's a student project, you
have doubts.
You can't have your expectations too high, just because you know how difficult it is, and then the environment that they're in, and all the things that they're up against. They got to make their films, with no money, and it's all volunteer and all student crew and everything. So it is what it is. I look at it as a great experience as an actor, because those roles are good, and if you can perform on camera in that kind of a circumstance, you're sort of earning your stripes. I mean, you can do anything, and so I look at it as a learning experience. I was in several projects. One is a short film called Little Tokyo Reporter, which is in post-production now, which I had a starring role, and I played a real-life character, Sei Fujii, who was a pioneer in Little Tokyo in the 20s and 30s. And he started a newspaper called Kashu Mainichi, California Daily News. Before that, he was one of several people who founded the Japanese hospital in East LA, which until then, it became the first place where Japanese Americans could get, medical attention that was culturally sensitive, where they had, people that understood their language, that understood everything about, who they were as a community. And that was in East LA in 1929. And then in 1954, I believe, in the early 50s, Sei Fujii is the one who sued the state of California to overturn the alien land law, which until then prohibited Japanese from Japan, or Japanese immigrants, from owning land. He's got a life that could be a miniseries.
Yeah.
And we know there's so many other stories like that. This film takes place in about a week in 1935 in Little Tokyo, when he's running his newspaper, and he faces a personal, or sort of a crisis as a journalist, as to whether he writes about something that could possibly make the community look bad, which is gambling, or if he does what he feels is the right thing as a journalist. Um, it's a really great story. Um, it needs a bigger platform, which is in the works. But for now, they're making a short.